I bought books. I'm not proud of myself, but it happened. Only 4 of them are physical copies of books, so I think that's quite good on the saving space front. I'm a disaster. Here are the physical books I got in January, first of which was Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained by John Milton. I'm talking about that in my January wrap-up and really don't want to talk about it again. So yeah. Next I got some books in a 3 for £5 off, the first of which is The Rats by James Herbert. This copy of the book is so beautiful, like the black and gold looks really nice and like the edges are like cut off so it looks like a rat is like nibbled at. I've never heard of James Herbert before, but apparently he's quite a big deal. This is like the 40th anniversary reprinting of, apparently it's like multi-million bestseller. It doesn't really sound like the type of book that I'm normally into, but it's quite short and I do want to expand what genres I read. From what I can tell, this is quite a gruesome story about rats getting their own back on humans, becoming more powerful and asserting some sort of dominance over man. The book that actually prompted me to go into the shop because I saw it was in the 3 for £5 offer is Alice and the Fly by James Wright. This is a book about isolation and phobias and obsession and family and friendship. The protagonist of this novel is afraid of them with the capital T. Not exactly sure what exactly them is yet, but I'm sure I'll find out once I dive into this book. And the final book I picked up as part of that offer was Angel Fall by Susan E. I'm not sure if it's Susan E or Susan E, but there we go. I don't know a huge amount about this book, but it says something really interesting on the back, which is the official print edition of the internet phenomenon. Already over 8,000 different 5-star reader reviews and counting. So obviously this was a big hit online before it became a physical book, and I'm really interested in the relationship between the internet and actual like published book and the process that happens between it getting from just being online to being in a bookshop. This tells the story of a young girl whose little sister is captured by angels and her quest to get her sister back. I'm very intrigued by this one. Now on to the ebooks I bought in January, and I'm starting with a non-fiction book called Big Magic Creative Living Beyond Fear by Elizabeth Gilbert. You may know Elizabeth Gilbert as the writer of the extremely successful Eat, Pray, Love, which I have on my shelf, but just haven't got round to yet. This is a book about encouraging and harnessing creativity. I've heard so many people raving about this and how much it pushed them to be more creative and be more committed to their creativity. And that's something I definitely need in my life. I'm definitely partial to stop writing poetry when I don't have an assignment to work towards, and I think that's really bad. Someone that wants to make a career as a poet, I should be writing all the time and harnessing every creative little bit of me. I'm really looking forward to reading that and seeing in what ways it inspires me. The next book I got, going back to fiction, combines 2 of my favourite genres of literature, and that is The Big Lie by Julie Mayhew. This combines YA stories with alternate history, Nazi, World War II literature. This is set in an alternate reality where the Nazis have won the Second World War, and it is set in Nazi England. I'm so looking forward to reading this. I can't wait. It probably will get read in February. I've been trying to resist reading my ebooks so I can get through the books on my shelf, but I don't think I can keep away from it for much longer. The next book I got was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and I've been sort of avoiding this book for a while because, I don't know, just the concept of a book about fangirling kind of put me off, and I was judgmental and I shouldn't have been. I've done a full review of Eleanor in Park by Rainbow Rowell, both in video and in text form, so I will link them down below. But I fell in love with her writing and I had to get Fangirl. Fangirl tells the story of twins who are going off to university. One of them is super ready to get into like the what is probably like the fresher's spirit of like going out to parties and socializing, and one of them is much more comfortable on her laptop in her bedroom. Since it's based in university, I feel like I will relate to this quite a lot, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. Next, I got a collection of short stories called Breen Gives Me Hiccups and Other Stories by Jesse Eisenberg. You may know Jesse Eisenberg as the actor in things like Zombieland and The Amazing Social Network. I don't know a huge amount about this collection. I did get very caught up in the fact, oh my god, Jesse Eisenberg wrote a book, that's amazing. I do want to read more short stories, so maybe if I can like read one a month or like one a week, that would be really great. I think the stories are very far apart in their settings and themes, but are sort of united by Jesse Eisenberg's wit. And the final book I bought in January was The Heart Goes Last by Margaret Atwood. I've only recently got into Margaret Atwood. I read The Handmaid's Tale about 2 weeks ago, and that is mentioned in my January wrap-up. This is a really new book as well, so I was really surprised by how cheap it was. I think it was £1.99. Again, it's not a book I know a huge amount about, other than it's about a couple named Stan and Charmaine, I think. And it's about economic and social collapse, and I think in it, like, prisoners and criminals are allowed to roam free. This description says, a sinister, wickedly funny novel about a near future in which the lawful are locked up and the lawless roam free. Again, a book I don't think I'll be able to resist for very long. Yeah, they are all the books that I bought in January. Fingers crossed there won't be as many in February, but who knows? Cannot be trusted in bookshops. Have you read any of these books before? What did you think about them? I love having a little chat in the comments, so let's do that.